So today we are making a super easy but delicious panna cotta. And all we need for this one is 3 ingredients: cream, brown sugar, and our gelatin leaves. As always, we start with the cream. I'm using a litre of cream this time, and I am just gonna bring that to the boil over a medium heat, which might take a little while, but I just need to watch my pot regularly to make sure that it doesn't overboil, and that I'm ready to go as soon as it's boiled with the next step. All right, so now that it's boiled, I'll just remove it from the heat, and then I'll let it stand for a few minutes just so it can cool down. And now I'll add the brown sugar. I'm just going to stir that through. Then I'm going to put it back over a low heat as I stir it through, just to make sure that all the sugar melts and it's all one nice consistency. So after about 2 or 3 minutes, my sugar should be dissolved through the cream, and there's an easy way to check. So I just want to get a little bit of the cream on the spoon. I just want to dip my finger in it, being careful because it might be a bit hot, and I'll rub the cream between my fingers to see if I can feel any sugar crystals, and I can't, so that means my cream is ready for the next step. The last ingredient I need for my panna cotta are the gelatin leaves. So what I've done is I've followed the packet directions on some gelatin leaves, which just had me soaking them for a few minutes. Now I need to squeeze out the excess water before I pop them into my cream. So I've got 4 platinum strength leaves, and I'm just going to pop them in one by one before I stir them through. Okay, all my gelatin leaves are in, so I'm just going to stir them through until they're all melted, and then my panna cotta is ready. To prepare my molds, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in my mold, just a tiny little spot, and I'm going to use my finger to get that oil and to spread it around the inside of the mold. So I want to get every single square millimeter of this mold covered in oil, and I've just used some olive oil. Don't use virgin or extra virgin, just the refined stuff is good because it has less flavour. You don't want much of it either because you don't want it flavouring the panna cotta. So now I just simply need to pour the panna cotta, or ladle it, into the molds. And then I will pop each mold on a tray to make it really easy to pop them in the fridge once I've done the whole lot. Okay, and there we have it. My panna cottas are pretty much ready. Now that I've poured them into their molds, I'm just going to pop them into the fridge. Once they've been in the fridge for about an hour, I'm going to put some Glad wrap over each individual panna cotta just to stop it from drying out. And then I'll put them back into the fridge for another 3 hours and they will be ready to go. So I've got here about a punnet of strawberries, a very small punnet, and I'm just tipping them into my saucepan along with about 1/3 of a cup of caster sugar. And then I just need to squeeze in some lemon juice. I'm not being too specific with the amount. I'm not worried about the seeds because I'm going to sieve those out later. All right, and so now all I need to do is heat this over a medium heat, and I want 2 things to happen while I'm doing that. I want my sugar to dissolve, and I want my fruit to turn into mush. Now I can tell that my strawberries are ready, because when I try to gently push through them with a spoon. Doesn't take a lot of force for my spoon to just cut through. So that means this is ready. And what I need to do is I need to get all that lovely liquid separated from the strawberries. To do that, I am just going to use a sieve. And so what I'll do is I will pour my liquid into the sieve just to get out all the solid stuff. Now what I can do is I can just gently move away my solid stuff from the edges so it lets the liquid seep through. But I also want to just gently press on it, squeeze any excess liquid out of the strawberries themselves, but I don't want to push any of the flesh of the strawberry through the sieve. I just want to be really gentle with it so that I'm only getting that liquid and not any chunky bits in it, because that won't make a very nice coulis at all. Okay, so you can see that beautiful red strawberry coulis that I've got there. It's going to make the perfect addition to my brown sugar panna cotta when that's ready. So now all I've got to do is chill this and wait for my panna cottas to come out of the fridge. As you can see, my panna cotta is all set, so that means it's ready to serve. So I'm going to start by peeling off the Glad wrap, and the next thing I want to do is see if I can get my panna cotta out nice and easily. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a squeeze and see if I can create an air bubble between the mold and the cream itself. Now, as I squeeze and invert it slightly, I'm not getting any air bubbles in there. So what I'm going to do is, and make sure you've washed your hands before you do this, is I'm just going to squeeze the sides of my Dariole mold just gently. I'm going to push against the cream slightly with my thumb, pulling it away from the mold. And as you can see, it's created a big air bubble. So I am ready to invert that onto my plate. And all I need to do now is add my beautiful strawberry coulis. And I'm just gonna put on a couple of teaspoons worth. That's all you need. And let it flow down the sides of my panna cotta there. And this makes for an absolutely beautiful panna cotta. So it's got the brown sugar in there to give it a beautiful flavour that really supports the rich, sweet, tangy notes of the strawberry coulis. I hope you enjoy and find it just as delicious as I do. Again, if you've got any suggestions of recipes you'd like me to show you or flavours of panna cotta you'd like me to make, just let me know in the comments below, and happy panna cottaing.